personal in your attacks on Brady's heart and his integrity. I mean, you may disagree on policy, but is it really fair to call him heartless?
Yes, I think these policies are very, very damaging to the ordinary people of Illinois. They're the heart and soul of our state. Cutting veterans' affairs in the middle of 2 wars where we have veterans coming back with post-traumatic stress disorder, and our state has a program to help those veterans get back to good health. To cut that program is heartless, and I would say that over and over again. I've fought hard for veterans and military families. Some of them were here tonight, and they support me. And I think it's very, very wrong for any candidate for governor of any party in the middle of 2 wars to be advocating cuts in the Veterans Affairs Department. That's exactly what Senator Brady is doing.
So are you taking things like the veterans programs and education off the table altogether when it comes to cuts? Because
look at the record. Look, you know, the facts are, and these are the facts, that our budget for education in this fiscal year is more than the previous year. We've been able to invest in education and stop the situation where you know, good people who have scholarships or did not, you know, lose their scholarship. I want to make sure that we invest in human talent in Illinois. We've already passed the biggest job recovery bill in Illinois history. That was last year. We had the biggest construction program on the roads this year, or any year in Illinois history. That's putting people to work. Now, Senator Brady goes to the ribbon cuttings, but he doesn't vote for the financing for this program. The people of Illinois have to see through this kind of, I think, behavior and conduct. You have to be courageous as if you're a governor. You can't be hiding. You have to get in the middle of the arena, roll up your sleeves, not head for the hills, but work as hard as you can for things that matter to people, like jobs. We've been able to create jobs, and I've got a record of doing that. He doesn't.
But her question was, in the future, are you taking those things off the table? All these things you're criticizing Brady
Yes,
about,
of course. I'm not going to cut Veterans Affairs at all. I don't believe in that. I think we should make sure we have adequate funding for that department.
So 4
for
years
our
of Quinn
veterans.
administration, no education cuts whatsoever, no health care cuts whatsoever,
Well,
no
I said
cuts whatsoever.
veterans and investing in education. The record shows that we're investing more money in schools this year than last year and the year before. Now, I would say this. If Brady, perish the thought, should become governor, there's going to be severe and radical cuts in education. It's going to also include scholarships for students who go to this very school. They won't be able to afford to go to school.
I just want to be
if
clear
you're
about
rich,
you're saying no cuts, period,
Yeah.
in the future. No cuts, period.
well, I want to maintain our investment in education the same way with Veterans Affairs. I have done that. I intend to do it in the future. That's the answer to that.
Promising it?
But you know, I think there is a kind of an issue here. Maybe it relates to your question about heart. You know, if you're a multimillionaire, and if you don't pay income tax, maybe you don't understand people who are living from check to check every month, who perhaps are living on minimum wage, and who do pay income tax. Senator Brady has not somehow paid any federal income tax for the last 2 years, but he wants to cut the minimum wage on somebody who's living from check to check every month, and that person does pay federal income tax, and they may need a scholarship for their kid to go to college. And I want to maintain that program so those kids can come here. And I've been here last year about this time to fight hard to protect the scholarship program, and I was very dissatisfied with his answer tonight. He says he wants to cut the government, everything's going to be cut. But I think the people need to know that means cutting teachers at your school, cutting scholarships for students, cutting early childhood education, cutting community colleges. This is not good for our economy. It won't create any jobs. It'll cause a great loss of jobs.